Barrows Guide, May 12, 2005. Items needed: spade, teleport runes, always bring some form of teleportation or trust me, you have a 1% chance of living. That does sound kind of ominous and pretty funny actually, thinking 20 years later, now that we are basically steamrolling Barrows with whatever S-spells I guess is the meta nowadays. I used the Wayback Machine to go to RuneHQ 20 years back and found this guide written in May 12, 2005, and I'm gonna do a Barrows run following this guide. As most of us, we are obviously very nostalgic for RuneScape, and just like most of you, I played the game as a kid as well. I was 12 years old when this guide was written, but I mainly played free to play. My mom did not allow me to buy a membership, so I never did Barrows according to these kind of guides and with the gear of 2005. So I am really interested to check it out, see what kind of items they recommend, what are we expecting to do. So let's start with the items recommended: attack, strength and defense potions, restore potions, prayer potions, lots of food, armor, very good weapon, ring of recoil, also druid pouches help with the ghasts, and note salve amulet does not help. I'm not sure what a very good weapon was at the time. I think a dragon longsword is pretty good. And actually a little bit later in the guide they specify the maging is much more effective on the meleeers, and if you use a snare or entangle along with the wave spell they die very fast. The approximate amount of prayer potions needed for a decent level 100 would be about 5 or 6 if you pray on all the brothers. It seems that they have never heard about prayer flicking, or they really took a long time to kill those brothers, because 6 prayer potions is a little bit overkill in my opinion, but we will trust the guide. The brothers are very strong and hit very often on low defenses. If you're at least 70 defense, you shouldn't be hit too often, but in the case of Darrock, if he hits you, it is usually 20 plus or so. ... So no food under lobsters are advised. We will take lobsters in that case. The mage and the ranger are the weakest, so always go to them if you are low on food. What the hell were they smoking? I think Carol and Arim are the hardest of the brothers, but okay. If you're wearing Dragonhide, the mage rarely ever hits, but he uses weakening spells to lower defense, strength, attack and several other stats. Torag and Verok are the 2 weaker, less hitting of the 4 meleeers, but are still by all means strong. Arim the mage is weak against slash attacks and Carol the ranger is weak against stab attacks. Is that actually true? Well, they get one of the 2 right. They are both actually a little bit weak to slash attacks. So they don't really specify anything about any spec weapons or any ranging equipment or anything, so we're just gonna take the dragon longsword and wave spells, I suppose, and that should be good enough. I found a beautiful layout for some equipment from another guide from the same era, 2005, from tip.it. So we will replicate this 2005 equipment down to the dot and we will see just how this goes. And then, the monsters in this guide are very hard. The meleeing brothers in this have a very high max hit, some record in the high 50s to 60s. I think that's only Darrock, right? And the mage uses weakening spells. Also, every one of the brothers decreases your prayer points. There are no definite range maging spots for the brothers inside their tombs. Well, now we know that there actually is, but we're just gonna go with the guide. Many things in this guide are subject to change for different people, such as penalties for getting a puzzle incorrect or the things you get in the chest. Most of it comes down to unbridled luck. If you are angered easily by failing or get mad because treasure trails never give you what you want, this is not the thing for you to do, because there is less than a 1 in about 10 chance for you to get a piece of equipment. Yes, I think it is 1 in 15, so they did get this part right. How do you get there? The Barrows are located just east of Morton, a very big cemetery to put it bluntly. I think Swampletics would have something to say about that. The easiest way to get there is if you have done the In Search of Myroki quest, because it provides a short route with very little ghasts. Well, let's just assume that I haven't done the In Search of Myroki just yet and will take the long route. Otherwise, I would suggest druid pouches. 3 should be enough to prevent the ghast from turning your food into rotten food. That would certainly be very annoying. Imagine being hungry and on low HP and all you can find in your inventory is bad and rotten food. Luckily, with today's sponsor Factor 75, that is an issue of the past. Factor delivers chef-created, dietitian-approved meals that are ready in just 2 minutes. As we all know, the next leagues is starting in a couple of days, and I know most most of you won't even take your weekly shower breaks. So not having to deal with grocery runs or cooking stress is exactly what you need. Just healthy and tasty food fast. With over 35 weekly options like keto, vegan and calorie smart, Factor makes it easy to stay on track. You can even customize your meals as easily as I am managing my RuneScape inventory. When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. You can change your order weekly with plans from 4 to 18 meals, or even pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. They've also got snacks, smoothies and more to keep me going no matter what's next on my schedule. And the best part, it's cheaper and way better than takeout. Just like a Lucky Barrows item drop, Factor delivers insane value straight to your door. And not to mention, Factor is sustainable. They offset 100% of delivery emissions and use 100% renewable electricity in their production. Use my link below or scan the QR code and use the coupon code LUNITA50 to get 50% off and free shipping on your first Factor box. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's video. Well, I did find an example setup from tip.it from the same year, 2005. That's another guide site as well. So in this setup guide, they do have a couple of examples for lower levels under 90 combat and higher levels over 90 combat. I'm going with the magic dot they are specifying here. I also have earth and law runes for, I guess, the home teleports, but I don't have a wind spell, so I'm not going to be home teleporting. And then obviously the runes for Slayer Dart, a Dragon Longsword, rune plate legs, a rune plate body, the full rune setup with the Farsi helmet, and the Legends cape is looking really fancy here. And in the guide setup example, they have 2 rune kite shields for whatever reason. I'm going to bring only one, and the book for some video production purposes, but yes. And then we also have a magic shortbow, black D-hide, and we can't even use the magic shortbow because we don't have inventory space, so that's well thought. Rune arrows, ring of life, because the ring of wealth does not work according to the guide. I don't actually know if it does, probably not. And an amulet of glory. The interesting thing is they have an uncharged amulet of glory in this guide, and in the higher level guide, the over level 90, it is a charged amulet of glory, so I guess it depends on your wealth if it is charged or not. And then we have 5 prayer potions, 3 dose of course, and sharks for the rest of the inventory. And yeah, it is looking pretty good. We have a massive magic attack bonus, 61. No prayer basically, plus 3 from the Amulet of Glory and nothing else. Now we know that we really don't need magic attack bonus for anything in Barrows, we just need prayer and defense bonuses. But at the time they thought that, yeah, magic is the way to go. But yeah, at least this setup is looking extremely good for 2005 gear, I think. We are gonna go with this. Next, the guide tells us to run straight south from the gate into the Mortmire swamp just west of Canifis. Keep running past little plants and gas until you find a bridge leading to a very long road. Turn off your run and follow this path to Morton, at which keep heading east and slightly south. There's some little typos here. There is a boatman next to the water, and close to him is a bridge. Take the bridge east and go north. At the little town-looking place, head east and you will find a huge cemetery. This is the Barrows. Alright, let's do it. For those who don't know where Morton is, it is just south of Canifis. Inside the cemetery there are 6 mounds or barrows. Each of the 6 mounds contain a small room in which there is a sarcophagus, which contains one of the 6 ghost brothers. Ghost brothers! One of these contains a tunnel instead of one of the brothers. The tunnel varies from person to person and always changes after you're done with the task. It is recommended that you kill all 5 of the brothers on the ground before you go into the tunnel and kill the 6th, but not required. Alright, here we are. First thing I'm noticing, in the guide they don't really have any tips for killing the brothers. I guess there really isn't any tips to killing the brothers, you just whack them. But the other guide on tip.it does have some tips at least. They don't have any order for which to kill the brothers in, so I guess we will just go with the order that they are laid out in the guide. First up, Verak Melee. Set effect is not visible, has a chance to ignore the defense provided by your armor. He is very dangerous and it's always advised to fight him with prayer or using a safe spot or sidestep spot. What is a sidestep spot? I have never heard that term before. I guess they mean like flinching, but I don't think you can really flinch these, but I don't know. We'll just go with the normal mage. Okay, let's see how the magic dart does against Varrock. We are going to protect from melee as per the guide suggests, and I am 99 magic, so it should do some pretty decent damage. I think my max hit should be around 23. Editor's note, it is actually 19. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, not too bad. 2 prayer drains, 1 hit through the prayer, and yeah, that's actually pretty simple. Next up, Torag. Melee set effect is visible and still works if you are using prayer. He has a chance to drain 10% of your energy. They don't specify to run energy, but that is what it is. He is the least dangerous of all the brothers, as his attack is not as potent. Oh, poor Torag. Torag should basically be a cakewalk. I have enough prayer pots that I'm just going to pray melee here, and I'm not going to take any damage. We'll see how long this takes. We are hitting at least very nicely. Done and done. On to the next. Guthan's melee set effect is visible and heals him for what he hits on you. For example, if he hits you for 20, then he will also heal 20. He will heal through your prayer for the amount of hits that he would have hit on you if you weren't praying. What? How do you read this? He will heal through your prayer for the amount of hits that we would... He will heal through your prayer for the amount of hits that he would have hit on you if you weren't praying. What the hell does that sentence mean? Did he used to do that? I don't think he heals if I am praying. So wear melee armor when you are maging him at all times. Guthan is the second least dangerous of the brothers. So for Guthan, I think I am going to wear the melee armor. They were talking something about like even if you pray, he's gonna heal through the prayer or something like that, but I don't think that's the case. I don't know if that was always the case or not. Maybe they have changed it in the past, but yeah, we're just gonna do what the guide tells us to do. He is dead, and I did not see any heals or even any animations for heals, so I don't think he can heal through prayer, but what do I know? We also need to restock on prayer here. 3 doses, that's 1 prayer potion down the drain, but now at least we can use our magic shortbow. 4th, Darrock. Melee set effect is not visible, hits higher based on his own damage. Darrock must be killed with a prayer or a safe spot. He can hit up to 58 damage in 1 hit when he is near dead. Darrock is the deadliest of all the brothers. I agree with this completely. Darrock, extremely dangerous unless you have prey from melee. Easy does it. Oh, it's bad. He's not dead. Okay, here we go. That's it. Carol's Ranger. Set effect is visible and has a chance to lower your agility by 20%, and you cannot protect from this effect with prayer. Carol is very dangerous. You cannot use a safe spot for Carol as he is a ranger. Very true. He is very accurate and will hit you hard and often. Always use prayer on Carol whenever possible. Alright, I do agree with that as well. Time for Carol. We have our full melee setup going here. Oh, and he's in the tunnels. Never mind. Arim's Mage. Set effect is visible and has a chance to lower your strength. He also casts Confuse and Curse on you. Before you dig Arim's Mount, you will want to switch to your ranged weapon and bow while selecting Rapid Attack Style and use your specials. If your magic level is under 80, he will hit you fairly hard. With higher magic levels and proper defense, Arim is very manageable without prayer. His difficulty level is highly dependent on your magic level. I didn't know that they know this stuff back then, but seems so. Alright, for Carol we have the Black D'hide and the MSB, and yeah, it's actually not too bad of a range attack bonus that we have. This should be pretty easy. There we go, easy as that. I actually forgot to use my specials. They even told me to use that, but well, it was very easy nonetheless. So then for the tunnels, they have their own guide to get through the tunnel, and it is very, very confusing. I don't know if they didn't have the option to right-click and see which door is open and what's not, but yeah, they have a 9-step guide on finding the right door. Step 1, you are in the tunnel. Find a way out of your current room. Alright. Step 2, get yourself all the way you can go in one latitudinal direction, north or south. Make sure you end in one of the room, not the small crossway or long halls. Well, I am at the kind of southern end of this tunnel, so I guess that's done. Step 3, get yourself all the way you can go in one longitude Tutdal direction, east or west. Again, make sure you're not in a crossway or a hole. Well, we are at the eastern end. Step 4, go 1 room, not crossway, 1 room in the opposite direction you chose in step 2. In other words, step 2 and 3 are you getting into a corner. Well, I am already in a corner. So I suppose I need to go 1 step this way. Maybe. Step 5, now attempt to open the door or the opposite direction you went in step 2. If the door doesn't have an open selection, then go through my guide. Well, okay, well, we found the place. Does it actually work like this? Is there actually something here? Like, I don't know. Anyways, there are a couple of other steps here. Guys, it's just a very long guide on finding the right door, but, well, we found the door. We are gonna go through here. They don't recommend killing any of the monsters in here, just the brothers, so we're just gonna kill Carol and we are done. Ooh, ending off with a 23 there. The Dragon Longsword is a beast for its time. Let's see if we got lucky. We're not gonna get that many runes because we don't have any reward potential, but they didn't know that at the time. No, not too great. But anyways, that is a Barrows done in 2005 fashion, and we don't have a teleport. We have the Ectofile. Let's use that. So I mean, yeah, I used, what, 1.5 prayer pots, and I definitely did not need 5 or 6 prayer pots like they suggested. Didn't use any food. Everything went pretty fine. I used like 50 death runes for the magic darts. It's actually pretty powerful here. So yeah, that was a very fun experience. Very fun old guide. If you want to see more videos like this, leave me a comment down below telling what guide I should try out next. There are a limited amount of bosses, but they're like Dagon of the Kings. There are, I guess, Barbarian Assault, some of these old minigames. So yeah, tell me what you want to see. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, I guess. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one, everybody. He likes my videos too.